Well, this old saying that when you no longer have the strength to go up, you go down. And Bitcoin has traded for longest of time around this 6,500 level and did not have the energy to do anything up. As we broke through 6,000, which was considered by many a really important support, it was a free fall. We're now here at 4,600. And I'm not sure we're going to rebound as quickly as many want to.
I mean, where could this go? Because I'm reading that the next kind of levelling out point could be as low as 3,500.
Yeah, 3,500 is the low from, I think, 23rd of September last year. Just a week earlier, it has went through 3,000, which again is going to be an important support. So 3,500, I think, is definitely on the cards, maybe 3,000.
OK, well, I find it very interesting, the fact that, you know, the volatility that very many people crave with a cryptocurrency we had, but that's the very thing you're saying that kind of led to this drop. I mean, everyone's looking for stable coins, aren't they? And we're starting to see that come through here in Switzerland. We've had two launched recently, the CHFT and the XCHF.
Right.
Tell me about that drive.
Yeah, stable coins, or in this case, they're probably more accurately called pegged coins, as they're pegged to the Swiss franc. They do excite me very much. In crypto space, we have Bitcoin that is way too volatile to do many things. I remember we were doing a project at the company I work for, where all that was needed is a stable currency in the end, and we didn't have it at the time. Now we do. But there are many more projects in Switzerland happening in this space. There are a basket of currencies that want to be stable, there are a basket of commodities that all go into this stable coin niche. And I think it's great to have this opportunity now.
But it's not having an impact on the currency, though. I mean, it's
on
plummeting.
Bitcoin, it doesn't, and why would it? I think it's just legitimating the space as a whole. Now, Bitcoin's been suffering from this, lots of drama in other areas of crypto that's happening. Maybe that is what has contributed to the sell-off.
And even though we have these coins that are pegged to the Swiss franc, I mean, the Swiss National Bank certainly don't like this, and they want nothing to do with the crypto space still.
But the Swiss National Bank said that they're not going to issue an e-franc, but they would leave it up to private institutions to do so. And that is exactly what's happened with the XCHF now. It's a private company that has issued the coin. I think they've done it quite cleverly. They aim to be FINMA compliant, which means proper KYC, proper AML.
I mean, isn't it a little short-sighted of the Swiss National Bank to rule out e-coins or e-currency completely? I mean, given Christine Lagarde at the IMF just last week said that, you know, central banks need to be more open to that.
Yeah, I think the Swiss National Bank is actually quite open by letting private individuals take the initiative. Because, I mean, yes, the government could probably do something like it, but having these things solved in a competitive environment as a private economy, I think is a much better choice.
So what you're saying is that we don't necessarily need the Swiss National Bank?
Well, for this particular task, no. I'm quite happy the Swiss National Bank is here, takes care of what they do best, which is monetary policy. But going into crypto space to issue tokens on a blockchain, I think private economy can handle that.
OK, and there's lots happening in the crypto space. I mean, on Thursday, we'll see the first, or what they call the first ever electronic traded crypto product, an ETP, which is going to be listed here in Switzerland. It's like an ETF, an exchange traded funds, but in the crypto space. Can you explain the impact of this kind of thing?
Well, it gives investors access to crypto. Investors had access to crypto on the Swiss exchange before, with just on Bitcoin. Then there were certain certificates that were issued, not trading on the exchange, but over the counter. And now we have a basket of cryptocurrencies that the ETP offers that you can get involved into.
But given what we're seeing with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies this week, this is bad timing, presumably, for this launch. I'm
sure it doesn't make it easier to raise funds, there's no question about it, but the benefits remain. You don't have to deal with private key, you don't have to store your coins in a hardware wallet, for instance. You can use the existing banking system to access crypto, and I think that is a big deal.
An executive board member at the ECB very recently said in more ways than one, Bitcoin is the evil spawn of the financial crisis.
Right.
Do you have a reaction to that?
Well, there was someone not much after that was said, betting the ECB that Bitcoin will stay around longer than the euro. And I think we have to see. I mean, the euro has its flaws. Bitcoin may have its flaws, and volatility is certainly one of them.
And it's still very much in developing stages. I mean, I can see that we're already talking about ETPs and other uses for blockchain and crypto.
Yeah, it's still growing up. Nobody knows what the fair value of Bitcoin actually is. We know it wasn't 20,000 or not yet. Maybe it's 4.5, maybe it's 3,000, maybe it's somewhere in between. But we're finding it out now, and I believe the more adoption we see, the more valuable it becomes.
How low is it going to go, do you think?
I reckon we're probably going to touch on the 3,000.
Before Christmas, I mean, we had Jan Brzezic on the show not so long ago talking about a run before Christmas, or just after Christmas, certainly. Yeah,
there's a high correlation between large events taking place in crypto space, big conferences, and crypto selling off. Now we have a big event coming up in January in St. Moritz. Maybe that is where we're going to see the last sell-off.
Okay, bringing it back to Switzerland and just what we've talked about with the Swiss National Bank. I mean, how problematic is it that on one hand we have FINMA, who are very proactive when it comes to regulating cryptocurrencies. We have, Crypto Valley and Zug and all this. And then on the other hand, we have the SNB that's very conservative on crypto. I mean, how do we kind of marry these two sides?
Well, just because the SNB doesn't get into crypto space doesn't mean they aren't watching it. I believe they are watching it very closely, and just recently there was a call for papers together with the university in Basel on various issues surrounding crypto. And I think that the SNB hands-off approach is actually a very mature one.
How are you convincing investors to buy into crypto right now in this current climate?
Oh, I don't. I would never talk anyone into crypto who doesn't want to be. Generally, the Bitcoin Association is organizing many events. They're free to attend. And after a few events, usually people can see the light, so to speak. They believe that this is something big, and it's not right to judge it based on a few years of track record, but judged on the potential where this can go to.
Okay, and where can it go to? Because that's the point. I mean, we've talked about the ETP, and I mean, we're also talking about, Initiative Q, for example, which is not a cryptocurrency, but it is a payment system based on blockchain. So this is starting to open up other avenues that could perhaps replace Bitcoin.
I believe the change is happening when people's behavior change. I work in Crypto Valley, and we have this crypto cafe in CV Labs, and visitors from all over the planet. And people now come, and when they want cash, they go to this Bitcoin ATM, they put out their mobile phone and withdraw money that they have just sent, they sent Bitcoin to the machine and money comes out. And that is how people do exchange these days. They're
so you actually see it in
at
action?
the airport. I think it's amazing that people do it, because the baker across the street doesn't take Bitcoin. But this way, you don't have to worry about changing cash at the airport. And these things, I believe, will eventually decide the future on the usability of Bitcoin.